Long before the memory of empires, before ink and stone recorded the names of kings, there was a land swallowed by both time and silence. The kingdom of Nathira, hidden deep beyond the rivers of dawn where the first light of the world once rose. It was said that Nathira stood between the mortal and the divine, a place where the breath of gods touched the soil, and men could hear the heartbeat of the earth beneath their feet. The storytellers of the East whispered that Nathira was born from a single tear of the sun, a drop of light that fell into the waters of creation and became land. Upon this sacred ground, 7 ancient beings known as the Keepers of Flame built the first city. They were not gods, yet neither were they mortal. Their eyes glowed with the memory of stars, and their voices carried power over nature itself. They taught the early humans the art of fire, stone, and song, 3 gifts that shaped the destiny of the world. The first king of Nathira was Almekher, son of no man, said to have been born from the wind that whispers across the mountains. His reign marked the beginning of the Golden Dawn, an age when humans and divine beings still shared counsel. Under his rule, the rivers glistened like molten silver, and the temples rose so high they seemed to pierce the fabric of heaven. The great temple of Rashadam, carved entirely from black obsidian, was built at the center of Nathira to honor the unseen creator, Erythal, the one who sleeps beneath the sky ********. The priests of Nathira believed that Erythal's dreams shaped reality itself, that the world existed only because the god dreamed it so. They feared the day he would awaken, for they said when the god opens his eyes, all creation would dissolve like dust and wind. Thus, every night, chants rose from the temples, their low voices calling across the valleys, urging the god to sleep peacefully. "Sleep, O dreamer of worlds," they sang. "May your eyes stay closed, lest all things fade. But peace, even in paradise, never endures." One fateful century, a child was born under an eclipse, the only one Nathira had ever seen. The midwives whispered that the heavens themselves paused at his first cry. His name was Calin, son of the high priestess Sarathia, a woman whose beauty was said to rival the stars. From infancy, strange omens surrounded him. The river near the temple turned crimson the day he took his first steps. When he laughed, lamps flickered. When he cried, winds howled. The priests feared him, for the sacred texts spoke of one called the Awakener, a mortal destined to open the eyes of Erythal and bring an end to all dreams. Sarathia, torn between love and duty, tried to hide him from the priesthood. But as Calin grew, so did his power. By the age of 12, he could move the sands with his voice and summon flame from the air. His eyes shone like mirrors, reflecting things that were not there. Cities of light, oceans of fire, beings with faces like suns. The king of Nathira, now aged and desperate to preserve his realm, summoned Calin before the Council of Flame, the 7 descendants of the original keepers. They saw in him not a threat, but a key, for according to the oldest prophecy, whoever could awaken the god could also reshape the world anew. Some among them whispered of immortality, others of dominion beyond the stars. And thus they began their plan. They built an enormous structure called the Chamber of Dawn, a colossal ring of gold and white marble in the heart of the desert, where the earth's veins of energy were strongest. For 40 years, craftsmen, seers, and slaves toiled beneath the sun, guided by symbols no one could fully understand, glyphs older than language itself. The chamber was designed to channel the dream of Erythal, to harness the sleeping god's pulse and turn it into divine power. Calin, now a man, had become both revered and feared. The people worshipped him as a living messenger, while others called him the shadow of the end. Yet Calin himself did not crave worship. He dreamed nightly of another world, one burning, collapsing, drowning in endless silence. In his dreams, he saw eyes in the sky, vast and sorrowful, staring through the fabric of existence. He would wake trembling, whispering, "He is stirring. The dreamer is stirring." On the night the chamber was complete, the moon turned blood red. Thousands gathered to witness the ritual that would either grant Nathira eternal glory or cast it into ruin. The priests chanted in forgotten tongues, the council raised their staffs, and Calin stood at the center of the ring, his arms open to the heavens. As the final incantation echoed through the desert, the ground began to tremble. Light burst from beneath the chamber, shooting into the sky like 1,000 suns. The mountains shook, the rivers boiled, and from the heart of the world a voice, neither male nor female, whispered a single word. "Who calls me?" The stars dimmed. The clouds turned to glass. Every living creature felt their heartbeat stop for one breath. Kalen fell to his knees, tears burning his cheeks. "Forgive us," he whispered. "We sought to touch what should never be touched." The voice answered, soft yet infinite. "You have torn the veil. The dream ends." Then came the silence. A silence so vast it devoured all sound, all light, all thought. When the morning sun rose, Nathira was gone. Not destroyed, gone. The land where it stood became a desert of shimmering glass. No ruins, no bones, no ash. Just a hollow wind that sang like memory. Centuries passed. Kingdoms rose and fell upon the earth that once was Nathira. Only the whispers remained, of a city that vanished, of a god that slept, of a man who tried to change destiny. Yet travelers in the eastern sands still speak of strange mirages. A golden city appearing at dusk, its towers gleaming like stars before fading into mist. And those who listen closely at night say they hear a voice in the wind, softly humming the ancient lullaby of Nathira. "Sleep, O dreamer of worlds, sleep, till the stars forget their names." But legends never truly end. They only wait for the next seeker to find the truth buried beneath time. For in the deepest caverns of the desert, hidden beneath crystal and stone, there are signs that Nathira may not be gone, only dreaming still beneath the earth, awaiting the one who will wake it once more. The sands move, the winds whisper, and somewhere far away, the eyes of Arithal begin to open again. Then let the sands of time shift once more. Thousands of years after Nathira's vanishing, the world had changed beyond measure. The gods were silent, the myths faded to bedtime tales, and the desert where the city once stood had become known only as the glass wastes. A forbidden stretch of land said to swallow compasses and drive men mad with mirages. No bird flew over it, no caravan crossed it twice. The wind there whispered names that no living man had ever spoken. But fate, it seems, remembers. In the year when 3 comets crossed the night sky, a young archaeologist named Dr. Amaran Kosi stood at the edge of those cursed dunes, the sun blazing behind her. She was half scholar, half dreamer. Her mother a historian of lost African empires, her father a poet who taught her that truth sleeps beneath dust. Amara had spent her life chasing legends, the city of gold, the river that runs backward, the towers that sang at dawn. But Nathira was different. She had found its name carved faintly on a broken obsidian tablet unearthed in the ruins of ancient Meroe. The inscription read, "Nathira, city of the sleeping god, consumed by silence." Every scholar she showed it to dismissed it as a mistranslation, a myth folded into myth. But Amara felt something deeper. At night she dreamed of mirrored eyes staring from the sand, of a golden chamber pulsing like a heartbeat beneath her feet. And so she came, alone, defying warnings and superstition, guided only by those dreams and a compass that never pointed north. The desert greeted her with silence. For days she walked under a sky so vast it seemed to press upon her chest. Her instruments malfunctioned. Her water flask grew lighter each sunrise. Yet she pressed on, following an invisible pull, a hum she could almost hear beneath the wind, like the world itself whispering her name. On the 7th night, as she set her small tent against the cold wind, she saw it. A faint glow on the horizon. Not fire. Not the reflection of stars. It shimmered like sunlight underwater. Heart racing, Amara climbed a dune, sand pouring beneath her boots. And there, far below, she saw the impossible. An entire city of light, half buried beneath glass-like dunes. Towers curved like ivory tusks. Arches made of golden stone. A great circle of pillars marking the center, the chamber of dawn, as if frozen in mid-breath. She blinked, and the vision was gone. Only the wind remained. But where the mirage had stood, the sands had shifted, revealing a single step of polished obsidian. Amara descended, trembling. The step led to another, and another, a staircase spiraling into the earth. She followed it down, her lantern flickering, until the desert's roar faded to silence. And there, in the hollow beneath the world, she found the city that had vanished. It was not ruins she found, but preservation. The streets gleamed as if they had been carved yesterday. Statues of strange winged figures lined the pathways. Murals painted in colors no human tongue could name adorned the walls. And at the city's heart, untouched by decay, stood a colossal door, a black circle carved with 7 symbols glowing faintly with golden light. Her hands shook as she traced the carvings. Each symbol matched a constellation long forgotten by modern astronomy. At the center, a single eye closed. She whispered, "Arithal." The moment she spoke the name, the air changed. A low hum began, echoing through the halls. Dust fell from the ceiling. The symbols flared brighter. And then she heard it, a voice not from around her, but within her. "You have found the edge of the dream, child of dust." She froze, her breath trembling. Who are you?" The air pulsed with warmth. "One who once slept beneath the world you have forgotten." Suddenly, visions poured into her mind. Cities of light, beings made of flame, a chamber opening like a dawn across the void. She saw Kalen, the boy of the eclipse, standing in the ring of gold, his hands raised toward the sky, his tears turning to fire. She saw the god awaken, and then the world fold upon itself like paper. The voice continued, softer now. He tried to reshape what could not be shaped. He broke the veil, but the dream began anew. "You walk now within that second dream." Amara fell to her knees. "You mean this world, my world?" "A dream within a dream," the voice said. "And now, you have come to the door that wakes the dreamer again." Her heart pounded. Every part of her wanted to flee, yet her hands reached forward. The door began to stir, its golden veins glowing like molten rivers. The sand around her trembled. In her mind, she heard thousands of whispers, voices of priests, kings, lovers, children, all chanting the same ancient lullaby. "Sleep, O dreamer of worlds." Amara shouted above the sound. "Why me? Why now?" The voice sighed, echoing like a storm through eternity. "Because the dream is fading. The world you know grows thin. The eyes of Erethal are opening again." The chamber erupted with light, blinding, alive. The symbols shot beams into the ceiling, carving open the rock above. Through it, she saw not the desert sky, but a vast void of swirling stars, bending like a liquid mirror. And within that mirror, an eye opened. Not monstrous, not cruel, only vast, sorrowful, ancient. Its gaze fell upon her, and in that instant, Amara felt her thoughts dissolve, her name, her memories, her body, all melting into the echo of creation itself. She saw the first spark of the universe, the birth of suns, the rise and fall of countless civilizations before her own. Then darkness. When she awoke, she was lying in the middle of the glass wastes, her tent half buried in sand. Her lantern was cold, her compass shattered. The horizon was still. Yet in her hand she held something impossible, a black stone, carved with the symbol of a single closed eye. When she returned to civilization, no one believed her. They said the desert tricks the mind. They said she imagined it all. But her voice, when she spoke, carried something different, a tone too old, too deep, too calm, as though part of her still stood before that cosmic gaze. And sometimes, when she looks into a mirror, for just a moment, she swears she sees the reflection blink before she does. The world sleeps still, but the veil grows thinner.